opportunity to meet Mr. Pat. But in the description of the Pattison Award, it says, every student has a Mr. Pat story, a tale of kindness or counsel, of laughter or leadership, and that the award celebrates his characteristics of loyalty, creativity, humor, flexibility, and integrity. To those of you who believe I embody even some of these traits, I say thank you. It is truly humbling to be thought of in the same vein as Mr. Pat and to be recognized with this opportunity. But with this opportunity comes some pressure. The pressure of figuring out what exactly to say in front of your peers and colleagues. Those of you who regularly seek out my counsel or leadership, those of you who find me to be loyal, flexible, and humorous. I see so many of these characteristics in each of you daily when you come to my office looking for guidance, asking questions, or just to go off about whatever's bothering you. I tend to be more of a listener. What could I possibly say that would interest you? What would Mr. Pat suggest? I imagine he might say, be yourself, or suggest that I use this moment to take a risk. Maybe confront what I consider to be my greatest weakness, which is creativity. How on earth could I be creative to convey a message about who I am, how I got here, and what I believe about this community? What could I possibly say up here that is unique and different, maybe even takes me out of my comfort zone? And then it hit me. You're all stuck here. With me, right now, you can't leave. I can say whatever I want. So I decided I'm going to do something that good old Mr. Positive here rarely gets to do. I am going to vent to you. And you are going to listen because you have to. And boy, do I have a lot to get off my chest. So let's have some fun from the beginning. Number one, I was born on November 5th, 1975. I weighed in at 11 pounds, 11 ounces. And there it is. Oh my gosh, your poor mother. Like I had any control over being born. Is my mom an amazing woman for birthing a bowling ball? Absolutely. But I'm the one that's literally had to carry this weight on my shoulders, and stomach, and legs, and butt for my entire life. And for passing out credit to my mom, what about my wife, Angela? Talk about amazing. She gave birth to 12 pounds, 9 ounces of twins. Are you up there? And let's not forget, I helped with that. If I'm going to take all the blame for my own birth, I want at least 0.5% credit for helping with my own children. Number two, let's talk allergies. Peanuts are legumes. They grow in the ground. Tree nuts, however, grow on trees. I am allergic to tree nuts. My sons Jacob and Justin are allergic to peanuts. So for instance, at Halloween, they eat the Almond Joys. I eat the Reese Cups along with Emma and Angela. Now, I know some of you are saying, you can't eat almonds? You don't know what you're missing. Yes, I do. Death. I'm missing death. As in, throat would close in a matter of minutes, and I would suffocate to death. Trust me, I know, 4 trips to the emergency room confirms it. Food allergies are a real thing and need to be taken seriously. Now, my boys know they are responsible for checking all food at all times, but sometimes that isn't enough. Like when I thought I was eating regular cream cheese on a bagel in the faculty lounge, only to find out it was hazelnut. Luckily, and 4 Benadryl later, I was okay. But to the parent who, knowing there were allergies on the team, once supplied Nutter Butter cookies to my son's baseball team, literally says nut butter in the name, and looks like a peanut. On a side note, I am also allergic to shellfish, cats, and end of quarter comments. Number 3, Jeremiah, this one's for you. Let's go over some of the characteristics of an introvert. Being around too many people drains your energy. You have a small group of close friends. People think you're quiet and may find it difficult to know you. You enjoy solitude. On behalf of all introverts, please note, we are not rude. We need breaks. For instance, when we take our lunch to our office door, or to our office and close the door, we are not being rude. We are trying to take a break. We would like you to take the hint. When we have company over and our extrovert spouse keeps the conversation going so that we can go inside and start cleaning up, that's our break. It's why Angela and I work so well together. When we have spent 3 hours socializing at Country Date, and our spouse, a fellow coworker not to be named, and her husband, Terry Tyrrell, decide they want to keep going, and we choose to watch the UC Bearcats basketball game instead of socializing, not being rude, just taking a break. So which I say to my kids up top there, when we get home today, plan on leaving Dad alone for a while. You're gonna need a break. Number 4, I have lifetime tickets to the Masters. Now, I really have nothing to complain about there. I just like saying that as often as I can. Number 5, speaking of sports, it is ridiculous to me that so many high school and middle school coaches make less than minimum wage considering the amount of time they devote to their athletes. Making schedules, ordering uniforms, designing game plans, bus rides, watching film, getting CPR certified, hours away from family, the list goes on and on. A coach's work is never ending and often thankless, and I miss it desperately. But I knew it was time to step away for a bit when I got home from a weekend golf tournament, and this is going to make me almost cry, and I don't cry. And while discussing the results with Angela, Jacob said to me, "Dad, when are you and I going to get to play golf?" I don't know if there is a greater teacher than sports. It brings out the absolute best in some players and the absolute worst in some parents. All seen it. But if there's one thing I've seen through my kids playing sports, it's that they have learned how to recover from failure. Jacob used to stand frozen in the batter's box, afraid of getting hit. He's currently batting cleanup for both of his baseball teams, swinging out of his shoes. Emma is now the outspoken leader on defense for her soccer team after spending season after season not knowing what to do. And Justin had to not break his boards on 6 different occasions before he finally earned his final tip in black belt. How many times do you think our girls soccer players thought back to 2 years ago while on their way to this year's state title? Learning to recover from failure in sports helps students develop the skills necessary to recover from failure in the classroom with relationships, work, and so many other facets of life. I genuinely miss contributing to that part of a student's development, and I can't wait for the time to be right so that I can step back into it. And number 6, and finally, stop blaming me for STEM. I didn't coin the term, and I only like the math part of it. And what is wrong with math finally getting a little love? When I decided to become a math teacher, let me assure you that I didn't do it for all the positive feedback I'd be getting. Conversations typically went like this. "So, what do you do for a living?" "I'm a math teacher." "Ugh." "What kind of math?" "Calculus." "Ugh." "I never made it past algebra 2. Anyone else ever really have to deal with this? I mean, man, I was all good for English 10, but boy, that English 11 really got me. And what bugs me the most is that this beautiful discipline made up of so many connections can be connected to every other subject. The patterns and visual representation of geometry can be found all around art. The rhythm of music is based on understanding how fractions work, half, quarter, eighth notes. Isn't one of the reasons we teach history is to understand and learn from how things have gone wrong in the past? You don't always get it right the first time, but you learn from your mistakes. Why do you think so many of our international students do well in math? Because it is a world language that they understand. They can communicate with anyone. And as for English and language arts, arithmetic is our spelling. Algebra is our sentence structure. Pre-calculus is how we create paragraphs, and calculus is our novel. Which leaves science. Now, we all know that science and mathematics tend to go hand in hand. However, I do have a bone to pick with the science department. All of our digits are significant. Some may be irrational. I love that one. Matthew, there you go, Jamie likes that one. But they all count, even the ones that belong to our redheaded stepchild statistics. I can't control that STEM fields are becoming more and more of the in-career choice, and I can't control what any of your past experiences were with math, especially the negative ones. But what I can do is show students my passion for mathematics, show them the beauty, patterns, and connections that can be found throughout the discipline. I can challenge them to get outside their comfort zones, to be uncomfortable, to take a risk, to get creative in a solution. But it is also my responsibility to help them get back up when they fail, to listen to them complain about how hard a test was, and get them moving back in the right direction. It is an exhausting, never-ending cycle, and I love it. There, now I feel better, thanks.